Oh, happy August 1st, everyone. I am back to do a live again. Hopefully, I have learned enough in how to do these darn videos and get me back to where I need to be. So I'm going to wait a couple minutes. When you are on, please let me know that you're here. I'd love to say hello to who's ever here. I'm just going to type out here to see if I get some individuals hopping on. Okay, well, I'm there saying hello to you guys. So who is out there? I'm so excited for our new So Long this week. Oh, this is not coming in very clearly, but that's okay. So I'm just going to wait a little bit and see who shows up before I keep talking. And of course, basketball is on right now. So I'm watching that. We're watching the Liberty and the Phoenix Mercury women's basketball. Please let me know if you stop in, if you hop on. Let's see, I might be a few minutes early. I am, but that's okay because I just wanted to get on and chat. And plus, I didn't want to have any issues, and it was looking like everything was going good. So I just wanted to get on right away. Loaded T-bomb. So good. Absolutely love that. Okay, it's telling me there's like 10 people or so watching. Please comment. Please comment, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. I would love to see who's here. Okay. Yes, I want to see who's here. What does that say? Full screen mode. New private chat messages will appear in the corner. Who's that? Okay. Cheryl, is that you out there, my dear? It is. Oh my gosh. And Lisa, Douglas, hi. Oh, it has been a long summer, and I am back to do this absolutely adorable sew-along for fall. It's called Ghost Party. Hello, Miss Suhofer. So glad you're on. I got one block done, but oh my gosh, do I have airs, you guys. But that's okay, because I'm going to use this one for like a giant pillow. Look at how cute it is. I got to get it close enough so you guys can see it good, because I've got a blur thing on my camera, and I can't figure out how to take it off. But isn't he cute? So I did the wrong size snowball corners on this little guy. And what else did I do? Something else. I don't remember, but who's on? Oh my gosh. Hot summer. Yes, it's been awful. I hate the heat. I would love it if I could be at the lake all the time and in a boat or something, but I can't. So I'm back. I'm at home. I have a new setup in my basement. I have a design wall behind me. I have lots of room in front of me. I have a new camera for sewing, and so I can't wait for you guys to see how that's going to work out. Hi, Eileen. Good to see you. Looks like we got about 16 people on, so if you are watching, please say hello. You can watch from YouTube or web or Facebook. I have been told by a few people that have watched in the past that YouTube is a better visual. I don't know if that's true. So if it is, go out to YouTube and look for the fabric bin and see what you think. Laurel, my bestie. Hi, honey. Hugs to you. I miss you. I have a mini retreat next weekend. Would love to see some of you at. I think that would be great. Cheryl, Margie, Sue Hofer would love to have you join us sometime at a mini retreat. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. $30 for the weekend. Laurel, you obviously know where you're welcome to stay. So we are doing the Ghost Party Sew Along. So for all of you guys that are in this this evening, I just want you to know that I have a category I wonder if I can just pop that category into the chat here. I bet you I can. See, I'm learning so much new stuff with this new program. I think I can. Paste, enter. Yes. Okay. So I just entered for you guys. That is a link to the items in today's show. Okay. Or today's sew along starting. Okay. So like if there's a product I'm using that you want to try, or if you do not have a kit or you have fabric at home and you just want the pattern, you can buy that. And everything is in this category called sew along. It took me a while to get it figured out how to do that because, you know, I'm getting older, 58, and my brain doesn't work as good with technology as it once did. But for those of you that check in, if you buy out of that category, if you type in the word GHOST, ghost, you're going to get 20% off a $25 purchase or more. So go check it out if there's something you need. It's basically the tools that I swear by and that I use all the time for you guys. So you should definitely check that out. So with that, I'm going to talk about a few things because this literally is our first week. So I don't know if anybody's even cut yet. I think I have got about 6 people with kits out there. So I'm not sure who's cut and who hasn't. And if you haven't, it's okay because I'm going to talk about cutting today and things that you need to do and your homework. Okay. So I have all my stuff cut. I am raring to go for this sew along. I can't go up too high. I have everything that I needed already cut. It is a nice, easy cut because it's 3.5-inch squares for the whole thing. And then these are, the eyes are 2.5 by 3.5. So not quite as wide. But I was thinking, so everybody that bought a kit, or if you buy a kit, solid black is in my kit. I bought the kit, but I didn't get a pattern. Oh, yes, Sue, your pattern's at the store, honey. Yep, I got your pattern. I thought I called you or texted you. Maybe I didn't. Gosh, I'm so sorry, Sue. Yes, your pattern is at the store, which is fine because most people probably are not even cut yet. Anyways, in your kit, you're going to get solid black fabric. And if you know me, you know I like anything shiny, sparkly, blingy. And I was looking for something else, and I happened to find this black sparkly fabric in my stash, and I was like, oh, I think I have to use that. Then I was watching a couple of tutorials on some other individuals that have done this pattern because it's been around a couple years. There's been a couple sew alongs. I've seen it. I've wanted to do it. Hadn't done it, but I was so excited to do it. And I was watching a couple other people and they were talking about different ways to do the eyes. And you can do them by machine embroidery not machine embroidery, hand embroidery, stars, applique stars, or what was the other thing? Oh, paper piece stars in the eye. And I thought, wow, that's really cute. I think I'm going to do that. But then I got to thinking, I want some cute eyes that have lashes. I have an embroidery machine. Ding, 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 ding. Then my hamster wheel goes off and I go out looking and I found the awesomest fabric to make eyes. So I'm going to do that so that I have that for my eyes because I love it. I think it's going to be great. So I'm going to go out. I have these cut already. So obviously I'm not going to use these. I'm going to make another block with you guys today and save it for something else because I'm going to take black fabric and I'm going to create the eyes on my embroidery machine. And so cute. I mean, one of them's even got pink eyeshadow on and eyelashes. It's so me. I have to do it. So you could do something like that. But you could also do the foundation paper piece eyes, the little tiny ones. You could just applique an eye on there. You could applique eyeballs on there. There's lots of different things out there that you could do. Okay. So this project, you can use foundation paper piecing. You don't have to. I will show that throughout this sew along probably next week so that you can decide quickly if that's something you want to do. And all of you in your pattern will have these pages. Sorry, I got to remember how to hold this for the foundation piecing. And they're great. Some of these will be stars within the quilt with like the different fabrics around it, or you could do just like the star could be a fabric and around that could be black. You have lots of options. The possibilities are limitless. You don't have to do any. You could just have your entire background, which is how this first block started out, is 3.5-inch squares, no stars of any kind. You don't have to if you don't want to. So I will go through that next week and talk about how we foundation piece, because that will, some people haven't done that. Some people are afraid to do that, but I will do that. And I'm going to do some of my blocks that go around. I'm going to do the star part in a print, and I'm going to do around it in black so that it stands out more. So for week 1, what we need to do, if you haven't chosen fabrics, you need to choose fabrics. You need at least 12 to 14 different fabrics to give it a good scrappy look. You do not have to use Halloween fabric. What if you have just tons of scraps or you are one of those awesome people out there that cuts all of your scraps into 2.5, 3.5, and 5. I have a few customers who do that. They just have like bins sitting next to their sewing machine. And when they're done with the project, whatever they have left, they quickly cut those into those sizes and they save them. You could do that. If you have a 3.5-inch bin, that's all you need. You could make it scrappy in anything. I honestly think that it would be awesome done in any amount of stuff. It does not have to be Halloween. The ghosts set it apart, and what's around it doesn't matter. You can also do the ghosts not scrappy if you don't want to. Maybe you just want to do them all white. You sure could do that. You would just have like 3.5-inch strips by, I'm not even sure. I don't know what the length would be. So I'd have to kind of measure that to see, because you could do that. So if somebody is interested in doing that and don't want their ghosts to be scrappy, let me know and I could probably figure that out for you. All right. So choose your fabrics. If you didn't have a kit, no worries. I do have kits still. I have 3 left, and we started with, I believe, 10 or 12. I can't remember. So I have 3 left right now. You could certainly get out there and buy that this weekend if you wanted to. If you click on that link that I shared or copy and paste it. I'm not sure if it's going to be a clickable link or what. So again, I'm using StreamYard. This is a new platform for me that I've never used before, and I'm really excited about it. Well, I used it when I did the Patriotic Plaid so long. I'm just going to make sure I haven't missed anybody that's hopped on. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so there's quite a few out there on. If you are there, would you say hello? Tell me who's here. I would love to know. So anyways, you can still get a kit. And if you go to that category or you copy and paste that link that I put in the chat, you can go out. It takes you directly to my website into a category called Sew Along. And if you check out from anything in that category, you can, which would be for the Sew Along, you will get 20% off with a $25 purchase. And the code is GHOST, GHOST. Okay. So, you don't have to worry about your prints being from Tula, Moda, Quilting Treasures, flowers, not flowers, Christmas to fall, whatever. If you want to do scrappy, girl, you do you. Hello, Julie. Welcome. Glad you're here. Anybody else watching the WNBA today? Tomorrow, hi Grace. Tomorrow at noon is WNBA Indiana Fever and Minnesota Lynx. Gonna be a stellar game. If you don't watch, it's either on ABC or CBS. I know it's like on local channels tomorrow. It's a big game, so it's gonna be incredible. Hi Deb, I saw you today. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. So your homework, what I want you guys to be working on for the next week is to get your stuff cut. Now, if making the entire quilt seems overwhelming and like something you don't think you really want to do, but you'd like to kind of do it, this pattern does it by blocks. So you can actually just cut what you need for 1 or 2 blocks. So maybe you just want to do 3 ghosts and make a table runner, or I'm going to make the one that's behind me that I have airs in into a pillow. And airs are okay. We just do something else different with it. Oh, she's in the nationals. Wow, that's amazing, Julie. Wonderful. I know that pretty little girl, and that's pretty incredible that she's in the water ski nationals. That's very awesome. You'll have to send me a text later or a message and let me know how she does. All right. So if you don't want to do the whole quilt, you can just do some block by block. Okay. It's really easy cutting. Again, it's 3.5 inch squares, some 2 inch, some 1.5, some little things. So I want you to know that by next week, I would love for you to have more done. Cut all of your fabric pieces. If you're planning to using the foundation piecing for your stars, ghost, eyes, or mouths, make sure you save some of your chosen fabrics before cutting everything into that. So think about how much you have to have, and leave some of that extra. Don't cut everything up into 3.5. So I think if you leave at least a 4 inch, I think that's what I have. Let me look quick. I got my stuff down here that's still left. Yeah, so from mine, I have about a 5 inch strip left of all of my prints because I did the math and figured out how much I needed for each of them. And I actually, you know what, guys, I can tell you that because I wrote it down on my pattern, thinking that you guys would probably need to know that. Where is that? Where did I put that? Shoot. I had that written down somewhere. Approximately how many you needed to cut. Hold on. So in your pattern, you're going to get bonus blocks as well. Like this one is a bonus block, okay? And this one has different sizes. It's super cute. So fun to do as well. I'm sorry, I don't know where that is right at the moment, and I can probably figure that for you guys and pop that on Facebook for you guys later. Okay. All right. So, during the next week, we are going to have a demo live every Saturday at 4 p.m. I want you to make sure you organize everything really well. Make sure if you don't have a bunch of clips or something like that that you can utilize to keep yourself really, really organized, what I would encourage you to do is to take a friction pen and write. I know it'll seem like a lot. Like your bigger pieces, you probably don't need to, okay? These are 3.5, you know that. But one of the airs that I made in here is I used 1.5 inch to snowball my eyes instead of 1 inch. So I made an air there. And, obviously that's a big difference. So I needed to use 1 inch for that instead of 1.5. And that's where I goofed up. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So for the little wins, and then I drop it. There it goes. Oh boy. Okay. So for that, I would encourage you to have a friction and write 1.5 on them. And it's time consuming. I get it. Or make sure you have like a baggie of some sort and write on the outside of that and put all those 1.5 inch pieces in there. Being organized will make this process go so much better. I learned that so much. I did that so much with the patriotic plaid that we did that let's see. Good preparation is what we need to get through this little sew along. It's going to be, I think, about 6 or 7 weeks we'll be doing this. So it'll come and go quickly. I really wanted it to be done in time for you to get it quilted, whether that's professionally or you do it yourself, okay? So, anyways, read your pattern and read it thoroughly, because this is a big pattern. There's a ton of stuff in it. There's some coloring sheets. There's different, tips in it as well. Read through your pattern before you start cutting so you understand what you're cutting, okay? And if you don't see from me what you need to cut from each one, like how many strips you should cut, because you need, like, I don't know, 240 3.5-inch squares. Well, you don't want to cut up the entire fat quarter into 3.5-inch squares, because you don't need you don't need all of them. There is a number that you should cut from each one. And I did have that figured, but I don't have that at the ready. I thought I was going to be so stinking prepared. Gosh dang it. Let's see. There's still quite a few people on that aren't saying hello. Tell me who you are. Okay. So then before you cut, if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I encourage you to starch your fabric. Starch it all and starch it heavily. I promise you, if you've not done it or you just think it doesn't gonna make a difference, I promise you it will. So I starched all of my stuff before I started, okay? And I use I have 2 different ways that you can do that. Terrio Magic is awesome. And the Acorn Easy Press fabric treatment as well. I really do love this. Terrio Magic, I really love that for big pieces and submerging, and I let that dry overnight. This can go a little quicker. I can spray starch everything really well, spray the fabric, and then I can walk away from it for about 15 minutes and let it set and come back and iron and start cutting right away. With Terrio Magic, in my opinion, in what I've done, it's better to wait overnight before you do that and submerge it so that you get all of the fabric wet and you don't get any. A lot of people have said to me, but it stains my fabric. It doesn't. I know that it looks like it does. It's just the color of the starch, and it's natural, and I promise you it will come out after you're done. So if you do that and you have like splotches or something and you're like, I've done it several times and it comes out. Hello, Jean. Welcome. We are starting the ghost party so long. Woo-hoo. I'm so excited. Anyway, so please, if you haven't tried it, please try it, because I promise you it will make all the difference in your cutting, and it will make everything better. It keeps your fabric from fraying. It makes your points or your sections line up, because regardless, you still have all these blocks to line up. You got to line up all these 3.5-inch squares, okay? Press everything after you've let it set for a little bit. And another thing I really want to share, I learn every day. And when things are happening at the store and I'm not sure why it's happening, I'm telling you, Google, Gemini, and ChatGPT and Claude are my friend. I use them on a daily basis. And I know there's going to be some out there that do not believe in the AI stuff. And I understand that. Believe me, I understand it. AI is and will be dangerous in certain aspects of life. But for me, I'm using it in different ways. So I Googled, why does my iron always turn icky and get stuff on it? I learned that I wasn't giving enough time for my fabric to dry after I spray starch. I need to give it more time, because that has like it's a starch base that gets on there, and then that isn't good. And so it builds up on there, and then I got to clean it off. So I have very diligently stopped and made sure that my fabric is as dry as it can be. Give it time to soak into the threads so that it wouldn't be dry, but it would be soaked in, because it's going to feel damp, and that's okay. Also, I am not adding water to my large iron anymore. I'm just not. I have found that it's better not to, and to have a spray bottle of Best Press, a spray bottle of Acorn fabric treatment, a spray bottle of Terrio Magic, and a spray bottle of water. And I have them all marked and I use them all for different reasons. Yeah, Gemini is amazing, Julie. You go out and use ChatGPT and see how amazing that is. It's so helpful. So I've been really doing that to help me so that I can help you have a better experience or whatever. So do that. The benefits of starching, again, reduces stretching, gives cleaner cuts, improves your piecing accuracy, helps your blocks stay square. If you struggle with squaring up blocks or they don't stay square, I'm telling you, if you starch, it will make all the difference. The other thing I love is the glue pen. You guys know that I use that, and that has that treatment stuff in it. Let's see, where did she go? Huh, where's my glue pen? Oh, it's probably in this thing. Yes, it is. No, it is not. Oh, goodness sakes. Well, it's the Acorn pressing pen that you utilize. It's like got a spongy top to it. What the heck? I swear to God, somebody's been in my sewing space, moving my stuff around, which is probably just me. But anyway, it's a refillable. I use that on my seams on the back. I will be using that as we sew, and so you'll get to see that too. All right, so use that. It's good for the stitch and flip corners that we're going to be doing. It's good for small piecing. It holds seams exactly where you want them. I also use glue. You guys know that I use tons of glue, and this glue is what I use when I'm piecing, and I use this on everything. I also use Roxanne's glue based, and that I use in different ways. Like I use that always for my binding, to put my binding strips together. When I attach the binding to a quilt, I just like both of them and I use them differently. For whatever reason, I prefer this for piecing over the Roxanne's glue base, but they are both meant to do the same. I just choose to do this with that, okay? And so when you're sewing and it's going through your feed dogs, even if you're pinned, they can move, which throws things off. So I always use the glue because that doesn't happen then, okay? Other thing I would like to share is the accuracy of your 1/4 inch. If you do not have a purple thing, an orange thing, a pink thing, a blue thing, whatever you want to call it, I sell it as a purple thing. These I got, I don't know, from a gift from somebody, and I don't know if it was the store that I bought from or something like that was giving these out. I would imagine that's probably where it came from. But I use this. And when I was making the block behind me, I was like, what in the heck? The block with the eyes was longer than all the other ones. I'm like, what is going on? I'm using my 1/4 inch. I've glued, done everything. Well, somehow when I was sewing, I accidentally hit the touch screen of my machine and it adjusted, and I wasn't sewing. It was not a 1/4 inch. So I'm like, well, what? Because I went and I checked my seams and measured them. And sure enough, that was my problem. And so I went on and I took that whole row apart and I fixed it, and everything came out perfectly then. So it happens. It happens to me. It happens to everybody. So don't be frustrated if that happens. Make sure when you start your project of cutting using a brand new rotary blade, it makes all the difference as well. I also like to chain piece. You guys know that. Chain piecing makes life so much easier. And we have these cute little flower things. You know what? I didn't add those to my category. As we go throughout this sew along, I will be adding other things to that sew along category that you can purchase at the coupon price, and you will be able to do that throughout the entire sew along. So I know that what my plan is I'm going to put some random things in there that's going to be special for those of you who watch my live. And you won't know what that is until the end of the live. I'm like, maybe I'm going to put a special line or something like that, you know, or it's going to be a tool, like maybe a ruler, you know, something like that. Stripology, maybe. Some things like that. I really want to reward those of you who hang out with me on Saturday at 4 o'clock and want to learn and get in on some good deals. So if you stick around, whether you're sewing along or not, but if you stay on and hang out with us, you're going to find out how much fun we are going to have and what sales I'm going to offer. Okay. So next Saturday, I do have a mini quilt retreat. I'm not sure how my sew along how I'm going to do that next Saturday. I may wait until the end of that day to come home and do that. Or I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just do it there while everybody's around. I don't know. I mean, I'm very distracted by things around me if there's people. And so I'm not sure if I'll do that, but I'll figure it out and I will post about it. So, you know, always remember that you're pressing, not ironing. You're not, you're just press. It's so hard not to do. I do the same darn thing. Okay. All right. Square up. Okay. First of all, press as you go. That way you will see if you don't glue or whatever you got off and you're going to have a hole, you know, because it happens. I mean, someone who's long arming and puts your quilt on the long arm, if you have not pressed all of those seams as you go and you just do it at the end, you don't see it, you go fast, the long armer will find them, because when they stretch your quilt, and I don't mean stretch like, when they're putting it on the long arm and they're rolling it on to quilt it for you, they will find them and then they have to fix that. Or otherwise you're going to have a hole in your quilt. So it's really important that you press as you go and you square up as you go. Because if you do that and you start to do that, then you know as you go along, when you go to put all of that together, everything is going to come together in the end. Okay. You know, stay organized, use some trays, use some different things. If you guys haven't been to Target for school supplies, they have these little bins. They have a stack of 8 for like, I don't know, $6 or $7. I just bought one because I thought, I wonder if I was buying my granddaughter some stuff. And I thought, wonder if I would actually use that. When you use the glue on the seams, how is it to pick apart? Easy, pulls apart, easy peasy. Yeah, Julie, it pulls apart just fine. So I would encourage you to utilize some of those things. The school section right now has great products that work really well for those kinds of things. And I really like that. I should show you another thing that I got that I will put all of my project in today when I'm done. I'm going to grab them. Hold on. All right. So from Target, they have these great see-through they're called letter bags. I love them. I use them for everything. I have tons of them. My husband's like, you really need more? Yeah, I do. Because he doesn't understand how many projects I have. So let's cut this. And it's pink. And it's good colors, no matter what. Alicia uses these, Wanda uses these, Carly uses these, all the people that hang out with us at the store use these. So I am going to put my project in this. I think I will use the kind of orange bag since it's Halloween kind of colored. Not that you have to, but I'm going to use that. You can also find these on Amazon. I love them. But staying organized is such a huge deal that I love it. I really, really want to be on doing more lives with you guys, more tutorials, because I really do like using this new platform I'm on. I think it is the best that I've ever had. It's so robust and there's so many things that I can do that I don't know everything that I can do. And so I'm kind of intimidated and scared of what I should be doing, but I know I shouldn't be. So, there is that. All right. So what else do I want to talk about? You're going to need to draw lines on your white fabrics for certain corner pieces. I will tell you that I did not think it was extremely clear about what you needed to do when you get to this part. I actually made them wrong the very first time. I drew a line from corner to corner and sewed on each line, or sewed a 1/4 inch on either side of the line. And I went, oh, that's not right. No, we're only doing one line and sewing once and then cutting it and squaring it up to 3.5. So you're going to be throwing away a corner of it. Or if you actually, I'm going to show you guys. We're just going to do a little try. I'm going to show you a cool little trick. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to draw my line from corner to corner. Okay. And I'm going to show you how you can really not waste that extra 1/4 of an inch. I need this because I need to make sure. Yes. So I drew one line from corner to corner, and now I'm going to draw a 1/2 inch line away from that initial. Okay. And I'm going to show you what we can do. This is going to be so good. You guys will love this. Okay. So here's what it looks like. So I'm going to sew, and you know me, I sew just on the other side of that line. And then I'm going to go along here and I'm going to do the same thing. And that way, when I cut that off, I'm going to have a completed half square triangle for a different project, therefore not wasting that. So we're going to do that. I'm going to sew that, but before I get back to this, also I'm using leaders and enders. Do not rush. This is a time for us to build a community and relationships, and I'm excited for that because before we know it, the season it will be upon us, and it will be chillier, and we will be doing other things, and not going out and not hanging out. I'm not a huge lover of heat, so I sew all the time. All right, guys, I am going to switch to a different camera, or add a camera to the stage so you guys can see. I got a new one and I'm so excited about this. All right. So I just need to make sure that this is on here nice. Okay. Oh, I'm excited about this. All right, so here we are. So this is what I was talking about. This is my line right here. And then this is the extra line. I sewed that a 1/2 inch away from this middle line. Okay. So again, as you guys know, I feel like that's really bright, isn't it? What happens if I do that? Can you see it better? Yes, no, maybe not really. Let's pull that back out. Maybe I need to zoom out a little bit. I know I'm just so excited that I can zoom in and out. Okay, so I think I'm out as far as I can go. Oh, where's my leader? Here's my leader. I need to start with a leader. Whatever you do, a leader is just a very simple, sorry, my foot control is going all over the place. It's a very simple piece of scrap fabric that I am starting out with to not have a little tiny bird's nest on the back of this. And yeah, so here we go. Let's do this. Okay, so remember, I am just sewing a stitch length away from that line. I never sew right on the line. It doesn't work for me. That is what I have found absolutely works the best in what I am doing. So I probably should have put a black thread in here just for this demo part of this so you guys could see that. It makes such a difference in my things turning out, lining up, all of that. So maybe you can see that. I don't know. Can you? There we go. That's not too bad. So it's just on the side of that. Okay. So I'm going to cut off my little leader, and I'm going to do that again. And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do the exact same thing on here. I want to sew just on the side. I turned it. Okay. So let's get my leader going here. And is that the way I want to go? Yeah, it is. Okay. I just think about it for a second. So here we go. And now I'm just sewing on the other side of that as well. And now when I cut this off, that I don't need, I am going to have a half square triangle that is ready to go. I don't have to do anything else with it. Okay. So let's get this over here. Okay. So I'm cutting. And I'm using the 1/4 inch. I'm lining that up. Okay. So there's the piece I cut away. Here's the one I need for my project. And there's my half square triangle. I'm going to give this a quick press, and I'm going to press to the dark. My iron is ready. And then I will show you guys here in just a second. Now, I do use the small Alicio iron, and that iron I do use water in. I don't know what it is that's on the smaller one. The plate never gets icky, ever. There's that. There's that. Isn't that great? And now I'm going to press this open, and now you're going to have a whole bunch of half square triangles. Well, not a whole bunch, because you don't do that many in this project. There's, just the corners that you're cutting off. So this looks like this is going to come out to be about, let's see, where's my 3.5? I just had that. It's here somewhere, so I could use that for square. There it is. I love the Lori Holtz 3.5 inch rulers. So let's see, where are we? This looks like this is 2.5 by 2.5 is what we want this to be. So you're going to have half square triangles cut at 2.5 by 2.5. Gosh dang it, little gnats. Okay, 2.5 by 2.5. There we go. And now you have that for your stash. Isn't that great? So remember, let's say that again. You're going, and this needs to be 3.5. So I'm going to square this up, and you should square these up as you go, guys, because you really do need to make sure that that's how we're going to make sure these all turn out the nice, perfectly. Hey, Ange. Ange will tell you too. Square up as you go, press as you go. Now, does that mean Angie does it every time? I know she doesn't, but she knows that if she does, it makes a difference. Okay. Here we are. There is that. And we have that little corner we cut off that you can save and utilize throughout this sew along. Seeing who else is on here. Yeah, Julie, it doesn't matter. I mean, as far as the glue goes, I mean, even though you use it and it's in that seam, if I've had to take them apart, I just use my seam ripper and I open that up and it comes apart no problem. You can actually just pull them apart too. They come apart very nicely, very easily for you to be able to do that. Okay. So, let's see, where are we at for time? Because I am limited per video on how long I can be on each week. So I have to make sure I'm mindful of that. Let's do my little guys, my eyeballs here, and do our 1.5 inch snowball. And I'm going to be gluing this. So I will come back over here to this, and I'm going to do all of these corners. These are my 1 inch. Need to make sure I don't get the wrong one again, because I did that. So I need the 1 inch. I'm going to grab those. And so your eyes, the corners of those should be one of each of the different, or each corner should be different so that you're using something different each time in the corners, kind of like it's your background basically. Okay. So let's see. We have this new clicker pen. Okay, I just had my, where did I put that? Did I put it back in the box? Oh, yes, I did. So I got this for all of my friends that sew with me all the time as a gift. And I love, love, love it. I use it. I keep all of my stuff when I'm going to the store back and forth so that I have all my things with me. All right, so I'm going to draw a line on the back of these little 1-inch squares. If you have the laser, you could use your laser to do this. I don't know. I've used it many, many, many times and I like it, but it's just as much work to do that as it is to do what I'm doing to draw the line for this as well. And you need 4 of these for each of the eyes. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to use my glue so you guys can see how I do that. See if I'm missing anybody. It goes together so easy when you do. You're right, Ange, it sure does. Hope everything is going good for you out there in Lemon. Yeah, it's fun to see the process of your house and how that's all coming together. Okay, so when I glue, I'm just putting some beads of glue in each corner. It's maybe hard to see that on this black fabric, but that is what I am doing. So I'm going to put that on there and I'm just going to press it. And I can do all 4 corners at one time because this is small enough where you can do all 4 at one time. Okay. So I'm going to do that. Whoops. I will heat set this as well, which of course you guys know I just drew my lines. I probably should have put these on, then heat set it, and then went back and drew my line, but that's all right. If the line goes away, I'll just draw it again. Not a big deal. It's fine for the sew along. You could do this and get these all ready at one time for your blocks if you're going to do the entire quilt. Okay. So you see me doing that. Okay. I'm going to go over to my iron quick and heat set that. And if you do it carefully, you can just set your iron on the very corner and it may not make your lines go away. Or it will, like mine just did. But I just feel like setting it makes it better, especially when you're going to be sewing along there and you are going on just the other side of that line, that you just really want that to be like that. Okay, so it did make one of them go away. So I'm just going to redraw that line for myself real quickly. And for those of you who have been wondering like what's going on or where I've been and what's happening and all of that, I had surgery, emergency surgery in May that kind of rocked my world a little bit. That what I certainly wasn't expecting. Ended up in the ER, had to have this emergency surgery and that, but I'm doing really good. I'm recovered. Shop Hop has started. So I'm back to being open on Saturdays from 9 to 1. And then I come home and I get ready for coming here to sew with you guys. All right, so I need my leader. All right. Okay, and again, I'm just gonna sew on the opposite of that line. Gosh, you know, I have such good lighting here, but it almost kind of washes out. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out a different way to hold my camera here for you guys next week. I think I need like a little tripod, maybe something. Now this one, I am not going to sew at 1/2 inch away from this because those little, some people would, and that's okay. If you want to save what's going to get cut off of here, you can do that. Absolutely. I'm just not. And I did not use my leader because I really just want to get all of these done so we can talk about this and I can show you how well this comes out when you're doing that. How important it is to make sure you have these corners done right for the way that they're supposed to look. And I am going to, again, like I said, I am going to embroider cute eyeballs. on my black fabric because it's going to be stunningly cute. Oh, I can't wait. So those are all done now. So I'm going to quick just trim, and I'm going to actually use a scissors to cut that away because I can. So I am going to just kind of eyeball it and trim that away. Then I will go along and press that. And so think about it. If you really pay attention, you will see that I actually cut off the glued section. It's not even there anymore, but it held my fabric in place so well so that I get the nicest block turning out the way that it's supposed to for my eyes. I'm excited about that. All right. So there is that block done. Isn't that just cute? And that, like I said, in my kits, I don't have this fabric in the store anymore. But if you have something in your stash that you want to use in place of the black solid, you sure could. So I found this in my stash when I was looking for something else. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to use that. And so now I really want to embroider the eyes because I want them to be super cute. I wonder if I could. I bet you I can. I could pop that file into here for you guys. So if you have an embroidery machine, you could see what I'm going to use and you could get it as well. Because I know a few of you on here have embroidery machines. I know Sue does. I know Angie does. I'm not sure who else is on there. I'm gonna show you guys. All right. So save image. Save. All right, back to StreamYard. Can I pop that in here? Shoot, I was hoping, well, maybe I can add an image. Here we go. Desktop. See, like I said, there's so many things that I can do that I don't know how to do. Okay, that didn't. Okay, hold on. That didn't work. So let's try that again. Image file. Here we go. Desktop. Well, shoot. Why isn't it doing that for me? Well, darn it. I guess that's not going to work, guys. I can't show you it. But you, Sue, go out to Etsy and type in eyes for ghosts or pumpkins, and you will find that. And you can just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black fabric. And I think, okay, how many blocks is it that we need for this? Hold on, let's count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You need 9 sets of eyes. And I'm just gonna use the black fabric and leave space in between so that I can go back then and cut in between them and have them. Won't that be so good? I hope it works. I'm so excited about it. I think it's going to work. I don't know, but I'm going to try because I love it. Or maybe I can do it like as a patch and I cut them out and put them on my black fabric. I don't know. There are options, but how cute will that be? I got to have eyelashes on them. So good. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. So that was my quick demo for you guys today. Next week, we are going to start sewing and getting these ghosties made up. So I hope everybody gets everything cut and ready and reads through your pattern quickly and make sure that you are ready to go. Decide if you want to do foundation piecing. If you don't, if you're going to do applique or not. I will do foundation, applique, and different things throughout so you guys can see how those will look. So mine blocks will have a little bit of all of it, but you can do some, all, or none, whichever works for you. That's what you can do. remember that you can go out and purchase anything from that. And Sue, you don't have a pattern to buy. It comes with your kit, okay? Just so you know that. Just stop in and grab that this week. That's right. I was waiting for my color ink to come in so I could get that ready, but you can stop in and pick yours up and you will be ready to get cutting and start sewing next week. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys next Saturday on the Fabric Bin demos and lives. Talk to you soon.